Peace and blessings. Welcome to Team Angie. Team member Eric Glenn, private personal consultant, also advocate for mental health. So my connection has been a little slow. Not to really trip about it or nothing like that, but um, just start playing a little video game, just to make some money or whatever. Be doing a lot of money making activities. This is really what I wanted to share, but we're gonna get right into it. Another money making activity. This is something personal. Member, Team Angie, private personal consultant, also advocate for mental health awareness as well. And what I like to do is create vibes. I'm big on vibes and energy. I spend my time and energy creating positive vibes to experience positive effects and, you know, outlets or whatnot. Putting myself in a position to have those as I spend time thinking about these things, put a little energy into what I think about, how I think about it, and also the time and energy to manifest these things, the steps to take. Just read from my daily book of inspiration, a really powerful word for today. It was really, to me, more so about positions in life, processes as well. Learning my position and learning the process that what I was just listening to was Central C. I like the UK people, the London style, Canada as well. Big shout out to the UK, the Canada, India, Asia, Bangladesh, Texas, Florida, the whole Midwest. I want to share these articles with you all. This is all about money making, and it's encouraging to see our celebrities, pros do well, but they never like to share with us how did they get to that position, how did they get to that point. And I like to share real life opportunities and well, not really put you in a position to understand where you're headed. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all in just a bit. First thing in the morning, I like to have gratefulness. I like to be grateful. This morning, yeah, kind of mourn because I was going through spiritual attack. They call it night terror. If you can look it up, it's been an experience across the globe. And I just realized, like, I woke up to it because I haven't had time to really get back into it and be present in the moment to have a present response. I used to sit on my heart for a bit, meditate on, what it is and what's it about before I respond. I guess my response didn't come quick enough, but nevertheless, I was in the spiritual realm, sleeping, dreaming, whatever you guys not seeing here in this reality. And what I saw and what I was brought to my awareness, where I was led to, was these people congregating. Basically, they were gathering in secrecy. They were having a meeting. But nevertheless, I was there, watching myself be there and kind of I realized that I woke up and I took a drink, kind of process what I experienced, trying to see what's going on, analyze the situation and what it is or what it may not be. But they were still doing what they were doing. But when they realized that I was aware of what was happening, they sent it in a chat. I believe they did. I don't believe in coincidences because the coincidence of it all was right after I made here with you guys meeting, which I wasn't invited or supposed to be. It was kind of like on the hush hush, but they were speaking. But in my comprehension, I wasn't hearing it. I was just seeing it and watching it. Then when they realized, like, oh, he's here and he's aware, semi aware of what's going on, they got me up out of there, or I got up out of there, whatever, however it happened. Um, Woke up like three something in the morning, maybe four. I don't know. It was still dark out, and I noticed because I finally woke up again. I looked at the time after this little situation. After this experience, I was like, I couldn't really breathe as much. I was trying to, gather my energy and thoughts and everything, and I kind of dozed off again to to like nine. No, it was from 3 to 6, from three something in the morning after I've seen what they was doing to like 6 in the morning when I had to attack and woke up again, and I was looking at the time and everything like that, and I breathe and stuff, and it was like for another 3 hours because I ended up getting back up at 9. So I woke up three times last night. One was from me being in that situation, exposing what was going on. Two was from just getting a little drink of water. And then three was after the attack. Well, actually, one was after exposure. Then three was when I woke back up at 9 o'clock and I had my energy to get up and go do things. I think when I looked at the time, I didn't check much but my investment. So I like to do that first thing first. I check on my investments to see if I got to make some adjustments, which I don't really have to do much because they're doing pretty well. I'm honestly mad that I didn't put more money into my situation and then, uh, capitalize on what was just happening. But I am in profits, which I'm not complaining. I could have moved that I've been waiting on so long, being distracted with problems and stress. I spend my money on stress, to be honest. And stress costs. Shit might cost 100 a day, it might cost 100 a week. But nevertheless, it's money that I must spend on have a little bit of sanity, a little bit of relief until I find another source, another way, another outlet, or whatever, right? Having that lack of discipline made me miss out on capitalizing the most on these constantly, you stress, you dealing with shit, different spirits, different people allowing different bullshit to entertain them and they want to bring the shit to you. It's a fucking distraction to without flipping off the handle, catching a case from dealing with people unrighteously, unholy. You got to have patience with these spirits because people don't know what they're being used because they run around unconscious a lot, unaware of what the fuck really going on and what type of energies they really entertaining. Until consequences happen when somebody get fucked up, when they end up in a hospital, things like that, when the motherfucker really start coming to their senses. And excuse my French because I'm just being blunt and honest. You know what I'm saying? I like to speak my truth. My truth may not be your truth. It doesn't matter. This is my point of view, dude. Reality I experience, and this is not to be cursing nobody out, but I do curse, and it's something I'm working on. Whatever, right? I don't really give a fuck how you look at me, how you view me, from how I speak. But it's all love at the end of the day. People run around autopilot. We're all in motion. Life is constant motion and movement. Now, what you decide to do with those movements is totally up to your consciousness. You know, you're being used to move whether you acknowledge it or not. What you do or what you don't do is ultimately a decision that alters your reality and your future. Prime example, right? And also, signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. Being wise is to know when to use knowledge. A lot of people lack knowledge, that's why they perish. We perish because the lack of knowledge. Some people don't have any knowledge at all, and some people are not wise enough to know when to use knowledge. So back to the example, right? For the consciousness, the signs is simple for the aware. Signs and symbols that are aware and conscious, and knowledge as well, right? So those of you who are knowledgeable about fire, you know the signs and symbols that come with fire: smoke, heat, flames, the flame, or on its way. Now, to be wise is to know that these signs and symbols are a warning to chaos about to erupt. Now, to be wise as well is to know what to do as far as take heed to these signs and symbols and move accordingly, which is figure out where the smoke is coming from, try to demolish it before it gets too high or whatever, whatnot, and or to just get your whole body person up out of there with a few things that you can carry out, you know, as far as what you feel is necessities to carry on and start over. That's wise. That's knowing how, when to use knowledge and being aware of the signs and symbols that are here in the present moment. Being present in the moment, being conscious. Now, the not having knowledge, not knowing what the signs and symbols of fire is, and or having that knowledge but not being wise to use that knowledge, like, okay, whatever, right? It is what it is. I'm not going to do anything but carry on what I'm doing. Now you have the knowledge on what's going on, but you choose to not use that knowledge to act accordingly. So that's unwise. And now the consequences that come with that is you end up being burned alive, having burn marks, or just simply being knocked out from all of the smoke and ventilation and everything else fails, but somebody pull you out because of mercy and grace that God tried to warn you, still is here to help and save you. You know, that's grace, that's mercy, that's undeserved, but yet and still we receive. And that's another reason to be thankful, but a lot of people aren't thankful for the small things in life, even waking up in a healthy mindset on this day here, this present day, this present gift of life that we all experiencing right here at this moment, whether you're watching a replay and or live. It's something to be grateful for. You know, we're present, mindful. I don't even know why I got into this topic, but anyway, being mindful, right? Signs and symbols. I was recognizing these signs and symbols, whether it's physical and or spiritual signs and symbols, just like people 777, 11, 11, 11. You need 222, look for a job, because these signs and symbols aren't just magic. There are things that are confirmations, there are guide points. So when you see these things, there are a sign that you need to take a certain kind of action. What that action may be, I don't know. You know, when you're listening to your heart and the spirit, you leading yourself and guiding yourself, you will know exactly where you're headed. If not, I encourage you to spend time alone to know yourself so that you're not easily influenced and conform into this world because of you're a simple clay that are being molded by people, places, or things. You don't have any standpoint, any solid ground to stand on. And that's what it is with spirituality, this new age spirituality. A lot of people are well rooted and grounded in spirituality. They know how to manifest and manipulate different forms of energy, as I told you guys to share with you guys on the previous live. If you go check it out, I encourage you. It's about the truth about night terrors. It's what the title is called, and it's similar to what this is about, but not exactly. But more details about what I'm talking about now, you can catch up by watching that previous live. Talk to Team Angie, Tuesdays and Thursdays blog. That I have more information about this type of things as well. How to manage stress and anxiety, because these things do come hand in hand. But nevertheless, being conscious of signs and symbols. I saw those things. I was alerted. I was aware. I'm trying to process what I just experienced, and I'm trying to figure these things out. Right? I'm losing words again. Like I was saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And yeah, I'm just trying to not access, but I'm trying to process what's going on. And then as soon as that attack was over with, it was like I kind of knew without a doubt who it came from and what it was about. It was like an eye opener. And I sit here and I think like, wow, these people really on it. The agenda is to keep me in a state of fear, which will keep me in a state of lack, which will keep me in a state of doubt. And if I wasn't spiritually strong enough, or let's just say spiritually strong enough, I'll fall for these attacks, and I will go to these people who seem to offer me spiritual relief, which is always the key. They give you the problem because they have the solution. They create the problems for you to come to that solution, so to say. And for people who aren't secure in their religion, secure in their practices, you're liable to fall into these traps. Thinking that you're just experiencing things because you're experiencing them, but the whole time these are spiritual attacks to get you to go to this type of spiritual power that they're offering you as far as the signs of relief. And it's a real tricky game. It's real detrimental on having a firm faith. The belief changes, but your belief can waver at any moment, especially when reality contradicts on what you believe and you're seeing things that makes you rely totally on faith. Just like they say, Jesus died for our sins, he walked this earth. Some people don't see that proof, so they don't have that faith. But for some people, they don't need that proof. They have that faith. And no matter what the world tells them and try to convince them of, they're solid on what they believe. Therefore, their faith is unwavering. And they don't go looking for physical clues and then evidence because they feel it in their heart. Something that you can't be separated. Trials, tribulations, nothing can separate us from the love of Christ and from Christ showing his love to us to help us get through these spiritual and emotional turbulent times, whether it's physical and or spiritual, because they go hand in hand. You will experience things that's beyond your control. Let's just say that. But nevertheless, though, these articles that I find are interesting. I want to share just a few, not all, but what's going on in the world, what I like to be into. Um, I just did something dope too with this. This was my art at. Also, I just did a little. So y'all be telling y'all about these settlements too. We can look into this. Like they be hitting me up. All the things that I do are money making activities. Whether it produce money right away or next week or whenever, I'm in position to receive. And if you don't do the work, you don't have nothing to receive. This stuff isn't always fun at times. Like putting this work in, not seeing a result. But that's where faith come in. I totally, honestly, 100% of my heart believe what I'm doing is going to produce me the results that I desire. I'm faithful that if I can carry on without stopping, because once you stop, you're automatically done. Persistency, consistency, and just staying focused, tunnel vision. Like I told about the movie the other day, Biker Boys. When he was in that tunnel, he have all these distractions on the side that causes emotions for him to be like, well, let me go correct this past, or let me go upgrade this future. But nevertheless, let me stay focused on this present moment, this mission that I have to accomplish at the moment. No matter what movie theaters I see on the left, no matter what traumatization I see to the right, right and left, left and right, my side, your side, whatever, right? I just realized that. But nevertheless, being present in the moment, what's important right now? What is the priority? The priority is getting through this tunnel and seeing the end of it. Not to be stuck in this tunnel, not moving, not having any persistent progress. Because once you start a mission, you're going to have that vision to the side, to the left, Things that are going to make you go off course, just like it's a battle of the mind day to day. You want to live a righteous lifestyle, but here are the temptations to the left, the feelings to the right. You feel like you're not enough, you don't have enough, and this is what it's going to be, but that's not true. You look to the side, you see your past mistakes. I've tried this, it didn't work. I've asked for help, it didn't come through. I've, whatever, right? That's not the case. But what you have in front of you is the opportunity to either carry on and make it through to see if you're going to experience this thing. Is it for you? Or you have the options to continue to look left and right and be dismayed, to go off course and go deal with these things that are either past or present and not being fully in the moment and present on what you are headed towards. Thing the left or right. You should do trucking. You should do this. You should do that. A lot of motherfuckers who think they know what's best for me. And or people is like, how long have you been doing this? How many sales you have? Or I don't want to collaborate with you or whatever, right? But now turn around these motherfuckers watching my every move, making a little post to deal with me. My doors are open. I'm asking for help. I'm asking for a little guidance. Whatever, right? And those are distractions to get me off course. Like the movie I was telling you about, Biker Boys, right? My faith in what I believe that I can get from this is at the end of this road, as long as I continuously make my way towards the end. And doing so, I've been seeing so many things. Like that's why I'm always grateful because, of course, I need this, I need that, I like this, I like that, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gaining overall what I really need. You'll dig so much as far as those who excavate because they have a vision, they have faith that what they're looking for is in this area, similar, subliminal to industries. What you're looking for might be in this industry of public relations and or agriculture and or technology. There are different fields. You might have something that you want to add to this. You might have a vision that you can better this. You might have different ideas, and that's for you. That's you leading you to what you are supposed to be doing. Something that you may be passionate about. All passions don't come easily. That's why you pursue your passions. Because I might love art, but there might be times where I'm not able to capitalize off of my art. Like back in the day, like I was telling people growing up middle class, right? We didn't always have dreams. That's a lie. I didn't mean to say that. We didn't always have resources we need to live our dreams. I was and still is a very good artist. But to live my dreams, I needed money to go to art school. My father didn't have it. We didn't have the money to work on my dreams. That could have brought doubt in my heart. Like, I don't have the support I need to live my dreams. Maybe this is something that's going to help me help you. But whatever, right? We all have those opportunities, those moments where things just don't work out for us, or we don't have the support we need, or we don't have the resources we desire to move forward. But anyway, nevertheless, right? I know that art is for me. So therefore, I haven't given it up. It's a passion of mine. Now it's turned into profit of mine. Not saying that I'm doing these things for money. I'm doing what I'm passionate about and I enjoy it. It's a peace of mind. It's a escape route for me as well. This is how God turned things around for the best of your benefit. Once you stay focused on what's for you and who you are, if you spend time getting to know yourself, you'll know these things. My visions don't always come to pass right away. Like all of these things are for me to have money. And God's been leading me to these things. Some things pay out right away. Some things pay out years later, like this. You see it. I've been talking a lot, but they emailing me. These are These are proof. Like this 3 years ago. A lot of y'all would have been gave up on it. Like damn, 3 years. And 3 years ago, did I think that I would be waiting 3 years to receive this? No. But it's coming when it's needed, and therefore I'm continuously doing other things that I know that's needed. It's going to come when I need it. That's why I'm doing these things. It's a sacrifice of time, effort, and energy, and or resources. I still spend money with this app. I still waiting on money. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard position to be in. Motherfucker owe you. You put in work. They're not true to their word. The word hasn't come to pass. Yet and still, I was doing this for in exchange of service, right? Now I have to figure out other things. Do I give up on this? I should, right? It's definitely an emotional trigger to where I'm feeling a way that I should give up on this. And that's what all your passions, all of your dreams. You will have moments like this of uncertainty on how do you move forward? Where do I move forward? If I move forward at all, do I give up on this? Is what I felt in my heart something I should continue to be faithful for because I don't believe that it's now uh, possible to achieve. Digital marketing the same, investments the same. A lot of this left side, right side, whatever, right? These things aren't aligned with your future. They won't help you move forward. They will turn you off course. They will take you off your passions. They will ultimately take the faith that you once had that you know will better your life and situation and turn it into a mockery to make you feel like the fool that you may be feeling like because you didn't trust in yourself enough to keep going. And then that brings and births doubt. We're never too messed up to where we can't be cleaned up. God can clean us up. I'm a mess myself, and I'm watching the way that He's just cleaning up my life miraculously day by day. There's no mess that God can't clean if you allow Him to work in your life and to be faithful that He will do and show up. A lot of these things, I was tempted and still be tempted, but I know overall, God is providing for me, giving me my daily bread. I want a lot of things, but just because I don't have doesn't mean I'm inadequate. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to get these things. It's just not my time. And in the meantime, I need to focus on self development. How can I be a millionaire when I don't have the mindset or the quality traits to keep this thing going? There are all different types of millionaires and there are billionaires, but at the end of the day, what separates the two is the way that they get there, the self development. I could win the lottery today and be a billionaire. That doesn't mean that I'm going to continue to be in that position because the way to get there, I haven't been molded, developed, I haven't been guided. So I would have fun living the same habitual lifestyle I live, meaning the habits that I have created to get me by. And majority of what life is about, comfortability. A lot of us are in our sins because it's comfortable. A lot of us won't chase our dreams because we're comfortable. Blessings are in an uncomfortable places and positions and with uncomfortable people. I have to have a lot of conversations that aren't as friendly. And not to say that I'm having an argument with people, but sometimes the truth is not a lot that people can deal with or accept. And the truth is some conversations are hard to have, but nevertheless necessary. Different spiritual teachers and guiders, they'll talk to me about the people that care, not the ones that are manipulating my energy to have me serving them in a way that, but the ones who care about my soul, who wants to see me free. People always talk about Freedom Friday, but what are you really a slave of? And what you agree with is very powerful. Don't be out here just agreeing with everybody with everything because those are ties. A lot of people like to speak negativity into existence. Like when I was locked up at one point, I was facing 5 to 15 years. Everybody wanna manifest 5 years of my life to be spending time with them and their reality because the reality for them is they're gonna be put away for a while, 5 to 10 or whatever. I don't know. We're all in a pause where there are feds, immigration, and just straight criminals of the state who's gonna deal with the state consequences. But they like, oh, you just gonna get this, you just gonna get that. But I never agreed on my future from what they thought and what they saw was for me. I never agreed with that at all. And therefore that never happened to me. Was it a miracle? Was it magic? Is just being simply filled with God's promises that I will be the head and not the tail. For me to be the head, I have to lead in a way that is correct for me and not to be following behind people who think they know what's best for me. Therefore, I stand in authority on what I believe in. I speak with authority. And therefore, those things never happen to me because words are powerful. And I created my outcome in that situation. Yet and still, I was being punished for my sins, which I wasn't escaping. But as far as the severity of my punishment, it wasn't going to be what they wanted it to be. That's the power of being true and having faith in what God has promised for you. Those times were difficult, very challenging, and just spending time in His presence by reading His Word, I was getting clarity more so than ever on what my situation was and what it was going to be and what to expect from that. But anyway, that's my journey. It's my testimony on having faith, even when times doesn't look like there's much things to be faithful of. And it's not easy, like I said, but possible, yes. I get those insights on how to be financially stable. That's a habit. The way that you spend money either is going to keep you chained to this Freedom Friday slave mentality type of shit, or it's going to free you truly to where you don't have to wait till Friday's check to be financially free. You feel me? That's just a lack mindset, and I don't agree. I don't participate with none of that bullshit. It sounds catchy, it sounds nice, but at the end of the day, what are you bound to? And when you agree with these things, you are bound into something. So that's why it's important to be mindful on what you entertain. These things are very catchy. Demon time. What does that mean? Are you a demon? Are you entertaining these demons? Are you so bound by these demons to where you're in the flesh, just doing the demons' work until the soul is gone and now you're eternally stuck to this demon? You guys got to be mindful of these little cool terms and terminology that you participate in, because at the end of the day, you're a cause of your own misery and your own sufferings and your own pain by just simply being cool and conforming to this world with a lot of this subliminal nonsense. I'm here to just to speak my truth and how I view the world, my point of view. And that there was just something that kind of triggered me, like Freedom Friday. How many of y'all are really slaves to this environment? How many of y'all are really slaves to this mindset of the world? How many are really unfree to even think? You know, it's a question to be asked because I'm curious to know. Not that curious that I'm going to find out, because I see it as a joke. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm cool. I'm not a slave to anything. I don't even look at myself as my ancestors were slaves. I don't partake in that shit. Slavery, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, but I don't agree with it. I don't say that I come from that lineage, cut from a different cloth. And I always going to carry that. I'm not African. I'm not from Africa. I'm a Native American. I'm original to this land. I'm not a black man. I'm not African American. I'm born here in America. I'm Native American. Whether I took my title of being Indian or not, it doesn't matter. I'm original to this land. My ancestors are original to this land. Therefore, I would never go to Africa to look for something to fulfill me when my fulfillment is here. I'll never let these demons tell me, oh, go back to where you come from, because I'm from right here. A lot of people like to get mixed up in that, and they think they're from somewhere else and they're always chasing something that's not them. You got to be careful of that stuff, man, because at the end of the day, it just causes separation. It keeps you separated from the true divine. You want to see what this about? This is my name. Oh, they got two of them. So I'm getting two checks from them. That's crazy as fuck. I thank God for that because I didn't expect this. This from my late great sister. So yeah, they said it was approved. You getting paid in 3 to 4 days before the settlement payment is issued. So I'm gonna get double the bubble for my time and effort. I've been waiting and waiting. They owe me whatever. Right? It's just a testament to being faithful to God and waiting on His time. And of course, I could have been doing all type of things because I need shit, right? But it is what it is. I wasn't expecting this at all. I was expecting this to be the other thing, which would be here. I'll show y'all. It'll be here soon. I'm just excited about all this stuff because God never leave nor forsake you. I'm not a big Christian. I'm just trying my best. I'm not perfect either. But I am faithful. Yeah, I'm good. One thing I like about Nipsey Hussle, it's a lot of stuff he said that I really agree with. A lot of stuff that he was doing. A lot of stuff that he left behind. He was like, damn, I can't even remember. Yeah, he was like, when you're in certain positions, you're tempted to go any kind of way, but yet and still you decide to lead your people right. Jesus was the same position, the same way. He had an opportunity to sin against the world and against his father's will. Our father's will is for us to live holy in righteousness and to spread the word of Jesus Christ, the love that he has for us, so that we all can have an eternal life without the sufferings of what we dealing with. I can't tell you about heaven because I haven't created it, but I can tell you one thing, that this place will never be all that we desire. It's a fallen place that we live in, and it's not meant for us to think of eternity here. It's easy to, get caught up in this lifestyle and to lead your people the wrong way, just like a lot of these entertainers do. They say they believe in God, but isn't the same God that we think of. Therefore, they always, doing things in secrecy. But the truth of the matter is, if you have to do things in secrecy, it's not worth doing at all, because everything comes to the light. And when it does, that's when the consequences come. You see what's going on with Young Thug. He gang, this, that, all of that. But at the end of the day, you a rat. And you telling on people for no reason. Once you get in, oh yeah, this is where y'all can get them settlements from right here. Once you get involved in that type of lifestyle, it comes with certain things. You're going to be doing certain things. It is what it is. But yeah, these are the open settlement of big shout out to Miss Nash. You know who you are. You put me on to this years ago. I wasn't faithful. I wasn't receiving nothing at the time, but you told me to be patient, to wait, and it'll come. And ever since then, that shit never stopped coming. I mean, for real though, it's like, damn, certain people will put you in a position to be blessed and to stay blessed. And I appreciate the people in my life that come around with these certain resources. But it ain't about what they come up with, it's about what you take advantage of. And here go my other one. They just telling me 3 to 4 days, this will be here, whatever, woo woo. But they both coming to my email. I appreciate y'all. Good looking Facebook. Now Cash App, waiting on a little something from them. They cut me off. They was trying to take my money as well. I ran a lot of money through Cash App and Shine, thousand. They hit me with a 24-hour notice one day, like, yeah, you doing too much. We some. We on the investigation. We gotta let you go. Go ahead, take your money off, because at this time your account will be no longer active. I'm whoa. Have my little bro take me to these ATMs, taking as much as I can off, then just throw the card like fuck it. It ain't gonna be useful anymore. The same as with TikTok. They didn't tell me like, oh, we finna delete your account. This is what's going on. Woo woo woo. If I had time, I would have took my little money off of there and I would have, try to address the issues. But nevertheless, I didn't have that opportunity. It was just one day they asked me, yo, you on TikTok no more? I should be. I don't know why I'm not. I go look at my pages, blocked, suspended, woo woo woo. Damn, for how long? It didn't even say, but whatever, right? So I'm like, well, what about my money on there? What about my videos? You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Oh wow, okay, whatever, right? I'm not finna go into the litigations about that. It's y'all platform had of shit. But it did make me realize, like, as far as content, especially when you're doing work, is your creation, it's your collection. And to protect your stuff, you have to go through certain drastic measures. You got to protect your stuff, because you put your time and energy into it. Just like these artists do with the music. They put their time and energy into it. And once it's not theirs anymore, they feel a certain way. And I felt a certain way about my stuff. I was learning how to do digital marketing through TikTok. There's a whole reason why I started a TikTok. I wasn't no TikTok type of guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was just little kids dancing, doing little weird shit like that, right? Like grown ass people doing these weird little robotic dances. I thought it was some type of cult shit for real, to be honest. Like I'm not gonna be a part of these little robotic trends that's going on. It just didn't make sense to me. Just like with the crate challenge, leading your people wrong, right? A lot of y'all didn't know people died off that crate challenge. A lot of people was going to the hospital. They didn't show y'all that part, but it was a part of a culture to self sabotage and to self hurt. Now that's like me telling you guys, oh, it look fun. We're going to stand on all these matches with a bunch of little sandpaper at the bottom, and whoever slipped the right way and then spark these up, you fucking burn up. But I'm not going to show you the part where it might spark. It's just going to show you the part where it's fun slipping up there. That was the same as with that crate challenge. Leading the people wrong for them to be hurt and for them to population control, get people about the way. You got to be mindful of who you following up behind because these people will make these things look enticing and look fun, but at the end of the day, what comes with it is grief, pain, chaos, destruction. So, what's the real agenda? To have you a free slave to do these things, to manipulate their energy, to get them to do it on their own free will, so to say. So they think you dress up a solution, make it look nice, as sweet as candy. You create the problem for them to go to the solution. That's what the government does to us all the time. Sort of say, allegedly. They create these sicknesses, these diseases, they create the cures. They got you in the loop. I ain't gonna say you because me as well, as far as with the food, the drinks, the things that they promote on entertainment, TV, television, radio, ads. It's like you bombarded with this stuff time and time again, all day, every day. You have to be conscious of what you entertain, though. These things that come across your vision, your mind, it is what it is. But nevertheless, peace and blessings continue, man. I'm gonna go eat my snacks and watch a little Tubi. If y'all don't watch Tubi, I encourage you. Today is the day they showing some good stuff. Check out the network Ion. It's on. That's the name of it. Ion. It's on and it's on Tubi. A lot of crime stuff. I'm finna watch that stuff and enjoy it and eat